Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Day number 546, August the 23rd. And I know everybody is here tonight wanting to get as much information as possible about Prigozhin. And all I can say is this.
Slava Ukraini!
Oh my, folks, it's really interesting. And we're going to talk about it. So that's where we're going to start. Mark McLaren, I see you over there, always checking in. You and I were chatting earlier today. Welcome to you, Pat Schoaf, Larry and Deborah, checking in tonight as well. DeSade, he's bringing the King's Horses and Men references in here. Then we've got Stephen Phelps. He's Surgeon General, warning them about smoking. Linda Cassio, welcome to you as always. Rick Berry, Slava Ukraina, Gerom Slava. Carl Elwell, good evening from Vegas, baby. Thank you, sir. Hernan Conte, checking in from Saludos desde Argentina. Welcome, my friend from Argentina. Ricochet, welcome to you, sir. Skeg, checking in from Australia. What we got here? Hello, all. Stay the course. Truth unfolds more every day. God be with Ukraine. Fody family checking in from Tejas. Welcome to you guys. Chuck Pinkham checking in from San Jose, California. Welcome to all of you guys. Lynn Fireball, Harold down there in Virginia. Thank you guys. So tonight we're going to jump right in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to support, like, share, subscribe. See, these are the days you want to be here. These are the days you want to be in here because we've got everything. We've been on top of it all day. I've been talking with my buddies in Ukraine multiple times, and we're confident in what we're going to share tonight. And not only what you already know, if you've been looking and seeing what's unfolding on the news, but I'm going to give you a little bit more clarity and understanding into what happens next. So, had no idea in prepping for the day that we would be discussing this tonight. There will be additional things we're talking about, but we're going to start right with Prigozhin. There's no reason to wait on it. We're going to jump right in and get going on it. So what I want to do is explain to you what happened during the day and when we became confident to call it that it is 99%. I know everybody's saying 100%, and it's 99. I mean, it's legit, but it is Russia. So we'll see what happens. Busy time slot tonight with Repub's debate and Trump with Tucker and the real news here. Yeah, I think the third option's the best. Hey, Jeffrey Burnett, welcome to you, because I'm telling you right now, driving in Australia, listening, I'm telling you right now, this is big news. And it's not just about Prigozhin, but there is a bigger story here in play. You folks know, because you're here and you're supporting Ukraine and you're doing all the stuff that you do, you know how much Prigozhin has been talked about, and Wagner has been a part of this war, and not just this war. How about all the things unfolding in Syria, unfolding in Africa, the recent coup in Niger, where Wagner was participating and assisting at some level? Folks, this has a global impact because, not because Prigozhin's gone, Wagner is going to be destroyed, most likely, but because this shows beyond a shadow of a doubt that Vladimir Putin's in control of Russia. And if you doubt that for one moment, it goes all the way back to June 23rd when the Wagner Revolution was taking place and everybody's freaking out. And Zhenya and I were getting screamed at because we told you guys, forget it, it's not going to be real. Turned out to be right. Now, 60 days later, he's gone. Told you. We knew. You cannot do the behavior that Prigozhin was doing, personal connections aside, and get away with it with a dictator to the level of a Putin. or a Hitler in World War II. It's not possible. Not with your little 25,000, 50,000 mercenaries. It's not going to happen. So now we see this. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to explain to you what happened today. This is the picture of Prigozhin's plane. This is the one that went down. The news started coming out. There was a plane crash in Russia. Now, where did it take place? I'll take you and show you right now. It happened in the Tver region. Tver, right here. So this plane left Moscow, was heading to St. Petersburg. That's our first clue. Because the plane had come from Africa. Came to Moscow. Most likely Wagner, maybe Prigozhin. Then plane left, 26 minutes in the air, and right here over the Tver region, right in this general area where the marker is, this is where the plane came out of the air. It was en route to St. Petersburg. So that's the plane. People started wondering, hey, that's Prigozhin's plane. We could see by the number on it. That's Prigozhin's plane. Did he go down? What happened? Well, as the day unfolded, video began to come in, and then we began to learn who was on the plane. It was not just Prigozhin, but it was also Dmitry Utkin. You say, well, I've never heard of that guy. You're going to hear about him tonight because I'm going to teach you who he is. Dmitry Utkin is actually the founder of the Wagner Group. Dmitry Utkin, not Prigozhin, is the founder. Okay, and we're going to get into him in a moment. So the video started to come out and everybody's going, hey, I think it's possible that Prigozhin was on this plane. Then Wagner representatives started putting out some information. I think Prigozhin's on the plane. I think Utkin's on the plane. Couple of hours going on, news starts to catch it, and of course, everywhere goes crazy with it. Now, here is one of the videos that came out early. It was right here, a lady talking about it. I'll translate her for you, but this is basically what she says. There are a couple of, okay, that's the best thing I've ever seen right there. I did not see that coming. Jeffrey Burnett, I'm going to put that comment back up in a minute when we look at Dmitry Utkin. Very good. What military base is near there, and can they be blamed for the smoking accident that fired the missile? So, we'll get to that in a minute. They actually flew right over a S-400 battalion, but we'll see. It's said as Wagner. Wagner, not Wagner. True, but speaking English here for folks. So, Wagner or Wagner. Whichever makes you happy there. Thanks. So here's the lady talking, and she's got a little colorful language in there, but she's basically saying there's no pilot, no pilot. Here you go. This is one of the first videos that came out. It'll come back into frame. Right there.
Пиздец, это беспилотник. Сбили, бабахнуло в 2 раза, взорвалось, падает.
There's no pilot.
Ты посмотри, падает.
Look, Pop, look, Dad, no pilot, no pilot. So there's that video right there. She goes around, she tries to find the smoke column. Now, this is one that's interesting, and I don't know who was in here chatting before we started. I have to look back, but there's something interesting here. I talked to a pilot today as well, and take a look at this. So you can see here the wing. Now, what I can do for you guys through the power of videography is, let me see here. I think I can zoom that in a little more. Let's do this. And then I'm gonna. So here we go.
Глянь, горит.
See
Вверху
right there.
самолет горит. И падает самолет.
See that left side, the wing.
Глянь,
Вот самолет
Little
падает.
smoke coming out of a back engine. So that's the videos that started rolling, and people were going, "Okay, I think it's real. I think it's happened." And as time unfolded, we were waiting. The first one that picked up the news and put it out there, and I'm just giving you the sequence of the day, was RT. And this is Russian, of course. This was a screenshot I took of their story as soon as it hit. And it said, Wagner chief among passengers on crashed plane. Yevgeny Prigozhin was listed on board the Embraer Air Legacy that crashed with no survivors, authorities have reported. They were the first ones on Russian mainstream media. And I call that mainstream propaganda to report that. So that's what happened next. Now, where does that take us to? Here's a statement that I just want to share with you guys. Wrote it down. This is what I believe. See, JJB, you smart. There were 2 aircraft, but I'm going to go back and show that. Why are you being so smart? It doesn't matter if Prigozhin was alone on this plane or together with Utkin. One thing is clear. Prigozhin was eliminated by Putin. Remember, I'm 99%. We're close. We're pretty confident. But there is some goofy stuff. But here's the deal. If this turns to be 100%, as everybody's now saying it is, I'm going to hold 99 until the end. Make no mistake about it, Prigozhin was eliminated by Putin. Let me tell you this right now, in Soviet culture, you cannot drop colorful words on Vladimir Putin and get away with it. You can not attempt a coup, even if it was a planned event, and get away with it. Putin will not share his glory with anybody. Putin, second paragraph, was never going to forgive the betrayal. Remember this, because I'm going to show you a video clip in a moment, as well as the humiliation and fear that he experienced during the Cook's rebellion. Never going to happen. So either the plane was shot down by Russian air defense, or it was blown up from the inside, or it was a technical malfunction. Regardless, Putin did it. Ukraine did not shoot it out of the air. And I have watched other videos, but they were not even good enough to share, where you can see a second contrail coming in, and there are people on the ground that have been communicating in circles that communicate pro-Ukrainian, even from inside Russia. Many pro people, Ukrainians, they were reporting they heard 2. They heard the air defense go up, and then they heard the plane explode and come down. Now, JJB, everybody's answering your question because they're right. So go back to this, and I'm still zoomed in.
Глянь,
It
горит.
does appear.
Вверху самолет горит. И падает самолет.
I'll pause it here in a second.
А?
глянь,
Вот
Вон
самолет
вверху.
падает.
It does appear that you see 2 engines under the plane, but it's not. That's where the fuel tanks are located. And if we go here, you can see right under those wings where those little fins come down, the fuel in there, the falling in the air made it appear. We can tell you 100% the plane that's on the ground is that plane. I have personally seen the video that I'm can't show because it's completely unfiltered, and they go up with the camera. We look at multiple dead bodies. This actually came out of Saudi Arabia. Actually, an Arabian guy got it. I don't know how, but he did. But I can't show it. But for sure, this is the plane that hit the ground, and 99% Prigozhin is eliminated. Now, here's the other thing. If a plane had a technical malfunction, typically, I talked with a pilot friend today, or if there was like an explosion on the inside without a catastrophic wing damage, the plane would glide out of the air most of the times. Okay, so we have to go off that average. This plane did not glide out of the air. So everybody I've talked to before sharing this with you guys tonight says this plane lost that wing ability to hold the lane, and then it just falls out of the air, and that's the burning there. You can see that left wing. Well, yeah, left wing. So that's where we're at right there, and confident on that. Now, while this was happening, we keep with the story. Where was Vladimir Putin? Let's see here. Yeah. Now let's do this one first. No, where was Vladimir Putin? Let me do that first for you. Vladimir Putin was in Kursk during this time. I want to show you guys where Kursk is. I'm going to zoom out. We're looking at the map here. As soon as I flip it over, when this plane was shot out of the air, 99%. Vladimir Putin was in Kursk. Kursk today celebrated the 80th anniversary of the victory at the Battle of the Kursk, which is this city here in Russia. He was close to Sumy today. Here's some video of him. I'll translate a little bit for you. This is basically while it was happening. You know, rarely does he wear a black suit, by the way. No conspiracies, I hate them, but rarely. He says, dear friends, good evening to you. We're here to come and celebrate on the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Kursk. And he goes on and he talks about that. Now, that's what Putin was doing, because I was wondering, okay, what's Putin doing during all of this? I can tell you he did bypass a couple of other events he was supposed to be a part of in Kursk, and he jumped on his plane, and at first he did not go to Moscow. He went to his home. Now, this is just crazy, okay? All right, you guys ready? All right, I'm going to show you something here. When Vladimir Putin flew out, he did not go back to Moscow. He's en route to Moscow right now, early in the morning over there, very early. But he left Kursk and he flew to Valdy or Valdai. This is his summer home. This is his fortress. You said, well, can we see it? Yeah, sure we can see it. This is a little town here on a lake. And little town of Valdai. You can, I can actually put you on the street here somewhere. Let's see, let's just go here. I'll put you on the street in Valdai. You can see Russia. So typical. This is Valdai. Typical. Russian town. Looks like any of those former nations, Soviet Union. Now, if I exit that and come on out, many people have been confused because I'm going to show you something here about this area. Many people speculate that Vladimir Putin's bunker being near Valdai is here on this island at this monastery. But folks, that's not true. His bunker is not at this monastery. but it's very close. Where is it? It's right here. You say, well, how do you know this is Vladimir Putin's home? It's common knowledge. But when I show you this, you're going to know too. So here is the home complex of Putin. You say, well, okay, well, that doesn't show me anything that it's Putin. Okay, well, let's go down here. How about this? The presidential helicopters and transport, his own landing spaces. This is security. This is another helipad. I think it's Putin's home. And supposedly, this is a complex of all complexes. But this is where he went to. Thought that would be interesting to show to you. Now, right now, he's en route to Moscow, and we'll see what happens. The Russian Federal Air Transport Agency came out a few hours ago and officially gave the manifest. I know news agencies had it. We're 100%. It's on mainstream media now. I'll hold my 99, which is basically 100, because there's always a little bit of trust I don't have, but we'll go 99. But this really pushed me to say it's really done. And what we're seeing is 100% true. I may be 99.9. The Russian Federal Air Transport Agency, the same as the FAA in the United States. This is their FAA put out, and I can translate this for you. It says, this is the plane that went down. It was the Embraer 135, the same that Prigozhin owns, one of them, and they gave the list of the passengers. I have that for you there. 7 of those guys are Wagner. And then below it, it says cabin staff, which is the commander, Alexei Levshin, the second pilot, Rustam Karimov, and the flight attendant, Kristina Raspopova. And the bottom says this plane came out of the air and crashed. It's done. And this is the official list. And all 10 are dead and identified. Now, DNA's not been identified, but we're 99. Yeah, we're going to go to 99.9, Jeff. I just can't do 100 until I'm a doubting Thomas on this one. So who's on this? You see the bottom green arrow? Official. Yevgeny Prigozhin, gone. The arrow second in the middle. Dmitry Utkin. This is the founder of the Wagner. There you go, my friend, Wagner. And above that, Valery Chekalov. You say, well, who's that? That is the top logistics commander for Wagner. It's the top. So you have Chekalov, you have Utkin, and you have Prigozhin. Now, this is a great question here. Is the version of NTSB going to investigate? The investigation is done. You see, this is another thing that pushes me to 100%. Folks, it's just a few hours ago in reality that this plane went down. So they have already found it, found all the lost bodies, identified everybody, and it's done. That quick. If there is any NTSB report that comes out, or the Russian version, it will never tell the truth of what happened. Because I am a believer that this was taken out by a missile. I am a believer that that's my opinion. I don't think it was a bomb. I don't think it was wine loaded in Moscow. I think they took it out. Others said, well, maybe it was a insider. No, this was Putin. Now, here we go. If you look to the right here is an old picture. In the middle, of course, you see Putin. And the guy on the far right with the medals and the decorations, that is Utkin. I know that most of you in here tonight have never heard of Utkin. Everybody's heard of Prigozhin. Nobody's heard of Utkin. But Utkin is the founder of the Wagner. He's the one that started it. He is a bad guy. He was a I don't want to say maybe a worshiper, but he was a devout follower of Nazi ideology. Hello? You remember, it's Russia accusing Ukraine of being Nazis. But this guy standing beside Putin right here is a confessing Nazi ideologist. Not only that, he marks his body. He's standing here, highly decorated and awarded years ago with Putin. That's Utkin. I'll take it a step further. Here he is. Recent picture. If you look on his neck, he's got the SS tattoo. He's got the double eagle from Germany. I zoomed that picture in for you. This is the founder. Why was it named Wagner? Because he loved the German composer Wagner. Now, who was Hitler's favorite composer? Wagner. That is why. Folks, can you see the connection here? It's so easy to see when you really start to look at it, how close these regimes are. Unfortunately, the world was able to recognize Nazi Germany, but until this moment, the world is not recognizing the regime of Putin. So that's Utkin. Now you know who he is. So let's summarize it. There you go. 100% Prigozhin on the plane. Yes, the S-300 missile crew will mysteriously fall off windows now. That is exactly right. Oh yeah, they'll clean this up, but we'll watch it. This is what we know as of 9:28 p.m., 4:28 a.m. Ukraine time. 100% Prigozhin on the plane. There was one other video released of him boarding the plane, but I didn't show it because I couldn't validate it that this was the plane on the same day he was getting on. So I try never to share anything we can't confirm. That's why I was holding the 99, moved it to 99.9, but we'll take it to 100. Prigozhin on the plane. We can tell you 100% proper flight path. It was on the right flight path. It had not altered from where it was supposed to be en route to St. Petersburg. There is video of Prigozhin boarding the plane, but I'm not going to show it because I can't confirm it. There is preliminary ID, but DNA has not been done. Russia FATA, which is their FAA, confirms. Wagner has already, about an hour and a half ago, put out a council statement that they're going to revenge Prigozhin and Utkin. My next statement, a Wagner revolt, forget it. You do remember that after the revolution of June 23rd, when that started to wash out a week later, Russia took their equipment. Remember? So nothing's happening there. They can talk whatever they want. That's done. So PPO, which is air defense, bomb, internal, who knows? We're leaning and pushing and thinking, definitely. PPO. I do think we will see some big uprisings. Let's see here. We'll put that one up there for you, Chill, because they're not big enough anymore, bud. It's not possible. They can talk, but they're done. Putin eliminated Wagner today by cutting off its head. And the head is not just Prigozhin, but it's really Utkin, which nobody really knows about unless you get into this stuff. We may see a little bit, but it's there's not much they can do, because I'm gonna tell you, he'll smash them now. He'll smash them. That's just what he'll do. But we'll see. We'll see. Now, this is what's going to happen. You say, well, what's going to happen? Markova put this information out. I've translated it for you. It says the murder of Prigozhin and Utkin, the founders of the Wagner PMC, is surely, this is one way it may be spun, is a terroristic attack from Ukraine that is going to be celebrated tomorrow on their Independence Day. All the enemies of Russia are rejoicing today. The murder of Prigozhin is the main achievement of Ukraine this year. This is what was already starting to be spun. And, you know, I fully expect this story to continue more until a statement comes out of the Kremlin. We do have a statement out of Zelensky's office. I'm going to share that with you guys in a moment. They're going to spin it that it's possible for Ukraine terrorism. And what they're going to do is then use that to rally Russian citizens, pushing ahead to elections, pushing ahead in the war to a solidarity. Look at the terrorists. Look what they're doing. Look how they are attacking our Wagner guys. So we'll see, but we have to wait for that. But this is already coming out, and I translated it for you. I can also tell you goodbye, Belarus. Wagner will be coming out. Just mark my word. They're going to be coming out of Belarus. They're either going to come out on their own or Russia's going to go take them out. And I don't mean eliminate them. I mean remove them. I'm just telling you. That's a good one too. This will be the call-up reason. Very good point. And we're going to be talking more about that in just a moment. So, folks, in a nutshell, that's basically where we're at. This is the statement out of the president's office. Mikhail Podolyak, here's pictures on the right for you. This is his tweet. We translated it. He is the official spokesman of Zelensky's office. So when Podolyak speaks, it is as if Zelensky's speaking. So regarding Prigozhin, this is what he says. And I agree with this completely. We have to wait for the fog of war to clear. However, it is clear that Putin does not forgive anyone for his own beastly fear, the very one that nullified him in June 2023 and was waiting for the moment. Agreed. By the way, it's 2 months to the day. June 23rd, August 23rd. It's also obvious that Prigozhin signed a special death sentence for himself the moment he believed in the strange guarantees of Lukashenko. And that's Belarus, okay, folks? And in no less the absurd word of, or honest word of Putin. The demonstrative removal of Prigozhin and the Wagner command 2 months after the coup attempt is a signal from Putin to the Russian elites for the 2024 elections. Fight, because disloyalty equals death. But it is also a signal to the Russian military. There will be no heroes of the SVO. SVO stands for the Special Military Operation that they still call it in Ukraine. If not the Ukrainian tribunal, then there will be bullets from the FSB. So this is the official statement coming from Podolyak. Tonight, St. Petersburg, Wagner headquarters. Yes, Wagner, you know, they believe they're a Christian organization, by the way. These are men of God. So they have the cross. That is the Wagner headquarter building on the right there. The Wagner Tower. Might there be a chance for Putler to blame Prigozhin for the war and end it? No, because then Prigozhin wins. Because Prigozhin was the one ripping Russia for being unprepared. They don't have supplies. What a joke their military is. Now he falls out of the earth, out of the sky, and Putin takes his tanks home? Never. Contrary to popular opinion and contrary to the statement that Vladimir Putin made today in South Africa, the BRICS via video, he does not want the war to end. Folks, he's making money on this war. He's repairing and upgrading his 100 million yacht right now. Did you guys see that on the news? It's there. Yeah, getting rich. Already rich, getting richer. Russia's making money. Their economy is not tanked. It's got some struggles, but it's not tanked. And now you have regions of the world, such as the Middle East, like the UAE, saying, we're going to grow our economic relationship. Wonder who takes over Wagner. I think Wagner goes away. But we'll see. Let me ask you a question. Who would want to take it over? Yeah, good luck. Yeah, I'll take it over. You can get on a plane. I don't think so. Now, folks, we come to this, and I'm now going to tell you the answer. I've taken 36 minutes to tell you the whole story of the major events that unfolded today. And for sure, this is a game changer in some way in this war, specifically globally. Why? I played you guys a video 2 months ago. Vladimir Putin being interviewed. And tonight, I am going to replay it for you. It's just 10 seconds. I'm going to play it first in straight Russian. Then I'm going to translate it for you. This is why we see the events that unfolded today. Make no mistake about it. This is why. Right here.
А вы умеете прощать?
Да. Но не все.
А что невозможно простить?
Предательство.
Okay, now you've seen it. I'm going to play it and pause it. I'll translate it. Here we go.
А вы умеете прощать?
Are you able to forgive?
Да.
Yes.
Но не все.
But not everything.
А что невозможно простить?
Предательство.
What is it possible that you're unable to forgive?
А что невозможно простить?
Предательство.
Betrayal. Now, I'll play it one last time. I'll voice it over in real time.
А вы умеете прощать?
Are you able to forgive?
Да.
Yes.
Но не все.
But not everything.
А что невозможно простить?
What can't you
Предательство.
forgive? Betrayal. Folks, there's your answer. There's your answer. I played that video here 2 months ago when the revolution happened. Jane and I said, folks, forget it. It'll be a few days. This will be over. It was. I played that video. You can go back and look at that stream. You're not going to betray that dictator. And we see now that's what's the result. So now, Ukraine, I want to change gears completely. In fact, let's change gears right here.
Слава Україні!
Let's talk about Ukraine for a few moments. Today was Flag Day. I'm going to show you a video. There is this tremendously huge flag that was driven all over Ukraine to all the front lines and signed by thousands of soldiers, thousands of volunteers. That flag today was hoisted right beside the statue to the motherland as Ukraine celebrated Flag Day. I want to show you where we're at, and then I'm going to show you the video. That gave you chills? Oh, we'll have some more.
Слава Україні!
They're coming, man. So I want to show you the location. Yeah, let me tell you something about that. Slava Ukraina, Gerom Slava. When you're with soldiers and you're running the front lines with them or you're embedded with them, I've spent nights right on the front lines, sleeping in a room of 8 soldiers, snoring, having fun. I would go to sleep, lay back, I'd say, Slava Ukraina. All those guys would scream, Geroim Slava. And I'm talking about it made me want to jump out of that bed and run into Moscow. It's just powerful. There's another greeting that soldier gives to soldier, and it's Bajаю Zdarovia. And that's only soldier to soldier unless they accept you, and then you can give that greeting Bajаю Zdarovia. And it's about giving and wishing health. So let's go to the flag, and you'll hear that again. Right here, if we come to Kyiv, we're going to come all the way down in. Of course, you can see Kyiv's a big city, huge. We come to the statue. It's so famous, the shield has now been changed. This is where it's at, right on the river. I'm going to go street view. I found this angle I could look at and show you guys the exact location of where this happened today. So, President Zelensky, you're going to see in just a moment, making his speech right here. The military doing their little parade right here. It was not overly massive due to, got to be safe. You had an incredible amount of Ukrainian brass standing at this statue today. Here is the statue to the motherland. Here is the huge flag. You can see this flag from anywhere. And now that flag has been replaced today with the one that was signed. So, if you want to see Kyiv, here's Kyiv. Beautiful city. Look at that beautiful church there. Of course, the river. You have the left bank and the right bank. Parks. I mean, look at this. Amphitheater down here. You do concerts. This is also located next to the hill where the great Jewish massacre happened in World War II. And here stands the statue. So there's what that looks like. Now, let me give you this video. And you can see what happened today on Flag Day.
Слава Україні!
This is today. This shows them getting the signatures all along the fronts. That's Chernigiv. Sumy. Dnipro, Donetsk. Odessa. Zelensky's speech today.
Слава Україні!
And that's where that Slava Ukraina Gerum Slava happened at the Flag Day speech that I'm now going to use a little bit. So that is the Flag Day events unfolding. Additionally, tomorrow coming up, hey, Jeremy Teeple, welcome, Ontario, Canada in the house. Nice to see you, brother. Tomorrow, Independence Day for Ukraine. Typically, Russia likes to attack on these holidays. And we'll talk about their preparedness for that in just a moment. But I can tell you throughout Ukraine, crowds, large events, public meeting places are restricted. You can't do any August 23rd, August 24th, and August 25th. JJB brings a tear to my eyes. So beautiful to see their strength. Slava Ukraina. Geroim Slava. Yes, ma'am. I'm assuming. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. JJB. Yes. I don't know JJB. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yeah, Nathan, it's a powerful video there. So no gatherings for the next 3 days, and that's the right decision. Ukraine is liberating Roboltny. And if you guys wonder what that word means, it means place of work, to be straight, like working place. Sir, from the land down under, thank you, my friend, and thank you for not being offended. I got it now, and it's right here forever. Thank you, sir, from down under. Now, here we go. Roboltny. I want to go to the deep state map now. I'll show you where it's at. This is the place where the 82nd has been working. And this is the little area they liberated. I'm going to show you a little video of that right now. This is the #1 location. Ukraine is making progress. Nothing on the front lines has changed really over the last 36, 48 hours. And that's due to the weather. Going to show you something on that in a moment. Weather is horrible. Extremely hot and extremely wet. It's terrible on the front lines. I'm going to show you some video from an Azov guy in just a moment. And this is Ukraine's best defensive line here, where Russia's pushing the hardest, is up here toward Kupiansk. But where we're going to show now the video is right here, Roboltny. So if you look at the map, Zaporizhia here, Orikhiv here. This is the area where Zhenya and I were working in that push there. So here's the first one. And just look at the people being liberated. It's not that many. And this is a really small little town, but it's a moral victory big time. Big time.
Друже, конечно.
She's saying thank you, thank you.
Хотілося б бачити, щоб це
I
все
mean,
було в
giving them
кращих
water.
умовах, а не в таких. Ми дуже раді вас бачити.
They're saying thank you. This is all I've got. This-
Алло. Привіт, куколка. Доця, нас вивезли, доця.
She called her daughter and she says, daughter, listen to me. The guys are here. The guys are here. We're free.
Та думаю, що да, в порядку. Думаю, що скоро побачимось.
Oh, I think soon we'll be back together again.
Сонечко моє.
Oh, my little sunshine. I'm okay.
Психологічно було дуже важко. Поки не стало води і поки не стало світла, було...
We've had no water. We've had no power. We've had nothing for this entire time.
Трошки підкопнем картопельки, то таке сяке їли.
А скільки вам років?
52 було влітку.
О, як святкували день народження?
Я вам скажу, у мене будуть шикарні подарунки. Мені подарували
She is expressing joy and her opinions on what's unfolding. Just happy.
Мама принесла букет троянд.
Talking about her family, reconnecting, lost her mom.
У окупантів. От, і мали надії, що прийдуть наші, і все буде добре. Все буде добре. Ну, ви знаєте, ми так довго
I really hope and believe everything's going to be okay and we win the war.
Ми навіть не могли повірити, що це наші.
I just can't believe what's happening right
Такі
now. The
молодці
guys are here.
хлопці. Ми дуже вдячні хлопцям. Що з
These
нами
guys
скільки
are
сиділи,
awesome.
прикривали нас, чекали, ми в підвалі спочатку чекали, поки за нами ця техніка приїде, чудо-техніка.
I couldn't believe it when these tanks and vehicles started arriving.
До миру їдемо, в Україну їдемо.
And I believe everything will be Ukraine.
Чекали ЗСУ в роботу?
Ну а як?
А де ви там ховалися?
Що я буду?
Asking her if she happy and believe it.
До свидання.
So, this is why I'm here. This is Ukraine, and the trash that's out on mainstream media is ridiculous. It's just terrible. That's reality. Now, you may say, okay, how big is that place? It's tiny. I have another video right now I'm going to show you of where Ukraine placed the flag in this little town. So if I zoom you in here good, you can see they've liberated these few streets right here in Robotny. And this front pushes into this next village of Novoprokopivka. And listen, these are very tiny places, but we're happy about it. So here's a video of the flag raised, and you'll see the destruction and you'll see the size. That's Robotny. You say, where are all the leaves? It's summertime. They're all burnt off. It's destroyed. And you can see the flag flying. There's no audio here. The drone will raise up. Everything destroyed. You can just see all the impacts. That building and a couple of streets. That's it. You may ask, well, what would have been the purpose of that building there? That would be everything. Little town hall, the little administration area. That'd be the place where kids go to school. If there are any kids in that little village, that's it. Little town, but you can see the joy. It's one thing for a foreign country to liberate a city, but another thing when your own country does it. Yes, sir. That is 100% correct. Some serious joy going on there. So we're happy about Robotny. Secondly, Crimea struck. Ukraine hit Olenivka. I'll show you this so you know where it's at. It's right here on this little tip of Crimea right here, Olenivka. Here they had an S-400 battery. It's a little town here, a little coastal area. It's all holidays for vacationers, but you can see it's on this western side, basically just across from Odessa here, and Snake Island's right here. But this is what was hit from Ukraine. In fact, I've got video. They released drone footage of the complex being hit here. Where did it go? Let me add it. Let's see. This is what happens when it's live. I hit the wrong button. Olenivka. Here we go. I'll add it in here. And here it is. At the end, you'll see the symbol, and I'll translate that for you guys as well. And that says Military Intelligence Unit of Ukraine. So that's the confirmation of the S-400 complex being taken out, and there was a radar station there. So very good news. Now on the other side, these stories are kind of slow. Firecracker, it seems like it's been going for 10 years. Mark McLaren, great comment. People are too bothered about how fast the offensive is going, but for each street Ukraine takes back, it's one street closer to victory. Against all odds, no air support, under-equipped, undermanned, and I would add to that, facing the most mined territory in the world. Zelensky spoke about that, and that's where we're going to close in a few minutes here. But in all of the things that have been happening with Prigozhin today, we need to keep our eye and mind on what's happening additionally in Ukraine, and that is 11 out of 20 Shaheeds were shot down, but 9 hit their targets. And you may be asking, how on earth are these shaheeds getting through? They should be easy to take out. They're not. They typically get a majority of them, but 11 out of 20 is a little, basically right above 50%, but 55%. Odessa port and shipping was hit, grain storage. Kherson, a school was hit, residential complex, 4 people killed, but it was shaheeds. And it either means they were doing really good with their reconnaissance for Russia, or, Ukraine struggling on the supplies of air defense. I don't know the complete answer to that, but I'm sure both have a little piece to that. So that is Odessa and Kherson. Sumy, Shahed drones also destroyed an education complex. I can show you Sumy here. This is it. This is the renovation. This is the rescue and the cleanup today. And this was shaheeds. You say, man, how do they have that much power? They can carry a good payload. The sad news here is it was an educational complex. A school destroyed. 4 teachers in the building were killed. 3 severely wounded that are in the hospital, and they are 50-50. They're really wounded. And 2 are still missing. Cleanup ongoing. That's Sumy, and that's up on the northern side of Ukraine there. Now, Russia has deployed additional ships capable of firing missiles into Ukraine. They now are basically keeping, I think the word is salvo, you guys will correct me if I'm wrong, but salvo, 70 between their planes they put in the air and their ships, 70 missiles ready to go. Will they fire all 70? I doubt it. But do they, as of right now, have that deployed? And that's with the airplanes that Ukraine watches and what is in the Black Sea. Yeah, 70 cruise missiles are prepared. Also, Gumenyuk coming out today and said that Russia is reinforcing once again their second and third lines in the south. And this was actually a big question today for President Zelensky in his Flag Day press conference. And I'll share that with you in just a moment as we get ready to close out here. But let's go here. Gumenyuk was saying, listen, Russia is really reinforcing this southern line. And you can see, this is Institute Study of War. They got a pile of troops down here, folks. A pile. In fact, Zelensky was asked today, I'll just preview you, some of the reporters there asked him, Ukrainians said, why aren't we rotating troops out of the east, like in Bakhmut, where we've got a still line, and push them down and assist our guys that are making some pushes here, and let's get some more ground. And Zelensky told her straight out, he says, if we rotate our troops to the south, Russia would be in Dnipro in a week. We can't. We don't have the manpower. We're getting ready to do another serious mobilization, and we can't just rotate troops like that. We don't have them. So this is what we have, and Gumenyuk telling Ukraine today that they're seeing Russia reinforce. One of the reasons that it's kind of still right now is the weather. All the front lines, extremely hot, averaging about 40 Celsius front lines, and very, very rainy. If you look at that picture there you see the Azov patch. That is not a Nazi patch. It's Azov, okay? That is their symbol from hundreds of years ago. But he's standing in the mud. In fact, one of the guys filmed this right here. This is what he's sitting in. And I know for some of you guys that are veterans, especially you guys that were in Vietnam, this probably bring back a memory here. It's in the east. I mean, can you imagine? And it's 40 degrees Celsius, and it's humid, and it's raining, and of course he's in his full battle gear, and just sitting in that. It's very, very sad. But that's where we're at. The weather is a challenge. Press being restricted from the front lines. Zelensky making some changes. Not completely restricted, but they have to go through military identification now. Like what I have. I have the military press pass. So I have a military ID. But 99% of the press are going to the front from all these countries with just press credentials. Unfortunately, they're giving away a lot of Ukrainian information, and won't call it on purpose, but a lot of information, positions, video of things that they shouldn't be videoing. So there's non-compliance. This is why they're making these changes. Number 2, they're giving away pertinent information. Number 3, they're providing misinformation about the war. 4, language problems, unable to communicate properly and being misunderstood. It's happening a lot at the front. And 5, these press guys are coming in and think that because they have the press pass, they can just do whatever they want and run however they want, and Ukraine's stopping it. So if you go through military identification and military press credentials and you get it approved by the military, you can go wherever you want to. But that's what we have. So they're changing it. These guys are messing them up a little bit. Yeah, it's a very good point there. You can only spend so many $1 million missiles on $20,000 drones before you run low on missiles. 100% agree. And this is why, by the way, I'm going to talk about a drone here in a second, but this is why Russia puts a lot of these drones in the air, because they don't only use the Shaheeds. They have their own drones as well, and they put them in the air, and Ukraine has to use their air defense. And many times they do not even have a payload. $20,000 flying through the air, no problem. So very, very good point there. Very hot here in Chicago. It's rainy where I'm at. Carl Elwell, that's right. Swarm of sparrows. It is. And something coming up now, it may change the game even more. It's this right here. I'm going to come back to Zelensky last. The Mohajer 10 drone. You guys can see that looks like a copy, a knockoff of an American Reaper. This is the new drone that Iran is now releasing. This was demonstrated. Remember, Russia Army Day 2023, and I told you guys China was there displaying their stuff. Well, this was this was the Iranian display of their new drone. 350 kilometers per hour, 300 kilogram payload. If you look close on the picture, you can see whatever it is, the radar, the missiles, or whatever they attach to the wings. This drone can fly for 24 hours, 24,000 feet of altitude down to nothing, and has a 2,000 kilometer range. This is a holy moly new level of drones here. In fact, this was their video that that Iran showed at the Army 2023 there in Russia. There you can see it, Mohajer 10. one thing I think you need to look at there, looking at that runway, that drone's much bigger than you think. Landed. These are not suicide drones. These are reusables. Of course, there's their logo. You know, I'll be honest with you guys. It reminds me of like a Star Trek movie, like the Klingons. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but you know, everything's just war and these symbols, and it's just crazy. You think it's hot in Chicago, you should be on my houseboat here in Mississippi. Man, I can only imagine. My aunt, Tim Ryder, is from Quitman, Mississippi. Firecracker is firing eggs in South Carolina on the sidewalk. Sorry, guys. Fall is coming. Fall is coming. Now, I want to go back now. This was the press conference, and really pay attention to this. I have it here somewhere. Right here. This was it. He's talking about not NATO here, and he's talking about different personal things for Ukraine, where he's specifically answering Ukrainian journalists with their questions. So that's just a sample of that. But what did he say? Here's what he said. The lady, the reporter, asked a question, good question, and he was very respectful to her. He goes, because she's Ukrainian. She goes, can we move our troops down and help push the South out now? He goes, no. If we do that, we're in serious trouble. No, we do not have the troops, period. So he rejected the idea of transferring part of the Ukrainian army from the east to the south, because in a few days, the Russians will reach Dnipro. Zelensky also said, I go to the front all the time, and I know our deficit for soldiers and equipment. He then stated today, the election in the United States will affect the support of Ukraine, period. And then he made the statement everybody's been waiting for. Mobilization will get stronger. Right now, Ukraine's mobilization is on the young age, 25. Seriously, 25. Not 18, not 20, 25. But on the next mobilization, which is imminent, they're lowering that age to 20. They're lowering it to 20. They get to a fourth mobilization, it will go to 18 to whatever. It'll be all people at fourth. Third, they're lowering the mobilization age to 20. Maybe the Bayraktar can dogfight it. That's pretty good. Skag, all these Americans complaining about the heat. I know, Mr. Outback, you deal with the heat there. Tim, you've been to Quitman many times. Cool. Very cool. So that is Zelensky today. There's the drone. Finally, our next to final stop corruption. Even with all the things that have unfolded in the last 24 hours, today, Zelensky smashing a corruption scandal that was happening in Western Ukraine, where a Ukrainian contractor with a contract to supply 350 level 4 body armor units to soldiers. He had a contract for 6.4 million hryvnias. Contracts are signed. He delivered Chinese knockoffs that were just nothing. They were trash. It's over. He is now in the judicial system and could face up to 12 years in prison for doing that. Ukraine is working very hard, folks, to clean up the corruption. Maybe our own country and other countries around the world, if we worked as hard at cleaning up our own country and our own countries and stop complaining about Ukraine's corruption, maybe the whole world would improve and become a better place. It's really hard to talk about somebody's yard when you got a lot of junk in your own backyard. And if I was on the Republican debate tonight, that's what I would be saying. We need to look at our own backyard and take care of it. Finally, going to give you a smile on the way out. And that is with Vladimir Putin. Let's see here. Okay. So this is the big smile that went around today, Ukraine, other than Prigozhin. It's my understanding that appropriation bill for Ukraine for the next 7 years is not true. I do not know the answer to that, but I will be looking that up. Not sure exactly, Nate. Take the log out of your own eye. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Hey, we're going to give you the real deal here, but we're going to give you a smile on the way out. And, a lot of stuff today, extra long stream. Thank you for being here. But you don't want to miss this one. You don't want to miss this one. Here in the United States, and listen, we're not going into any politics. I don't deal with politics on this program. I'll just call it how it is, in my opinion. But it's easy to see. But, here in the U.S., and even you guys over there in Australia with your Sky News, you guys love to draw attention to our current president's struggles with memory and awareness of people and other things. And all presidents have been joked about. It doesn't matter if they're left or right. It just happens. But here's what I can tell you. Today, Putin had one of those moments. So we're going to go out with one of those smiles. And the big smile was Putin's watch. So Putin has a $1 million watch collection. Oh, yeah. Probably even more than that, Tim. Listen, that picture right there you're looking at, folks, that's a wealthy man. And I know it's criminal, but it's a wealthy man. So, yes. Australia news equals American news. I do not watch. It's a joke. Dementia, just say it. Okay. Are you ready for this, guys? Here's your smile on the way out. So, Putin checking his watch. I may have to show it to you twice, so it's because it's just quick. Here we go. What's he doing? So, no, there's no audio here. I cut it out. I just want you to focus on. So, he's taken the watch off of his left arm. Watch. He's talking, not really paying attention, holding the watch. All right, one more time. This is good right here. Taking the watch off, talking. Now, what happens next? Here comes the moment that Ukraine's getting a lot of laughs today. The watch is on the other hand. Now the watch is on the right. Look, he's looking. What time is it? Where's my watch? Oh, there it is. So now, if I show it to you in succession, now you know both pieces. This is just good. Here you go. Take the watch off. Finagle. And then let's do this one. Check the time. There's the watch. I mean, you know what? That's almost like something worthy of a comedic show on America's Got Talent or Russia's Got Talent. I don't know what he's doing, but that's pretty good right there. So, folks, there's your update for today. Huge day. If I was to rank this day, I probably would put it number 2. Number 1, of course, would be the day that Russia invaded. And you say, you put that much onus on Prigozhin and Wagner? It's not really on Prigozhin and Wagner. But you just think about this as I'm signing off. You think how many times in your own news, wherever you're at in the world, you've seen Prigozhin news, Wagner news, whether it's in Russia, Ukraine, Africa, and now all the leadership is gone. And we will see what Russia says about this, what Putin says about it, and we'll be talking about it more on Friday, if not before. This would have been one of those nights. If this had been a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday, I would have been live tonight. This is one of those events. But this is going to affect Russia at a mega level. And the question is it going to fragment Russia a little bit, or is it going to pull them together? We shall see. We shall see. That's right, sir. Everyone thought Putin was soft on Prigozhin. He pulled a magic trick on himself. So we'll see. That's why I would put this as a number 2. I know y'all like it. So there you go. Let's play with the watch one more time. And where's my watch? Boom, it's gone. Folks, let me make it very clear for you. That's what's called the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. You guys be blessed. We'll see you on Friday night, the next update, if not before. He let him have the window seat. There's Hamish Campbell. Oh, guys, thank you. Appreciate. And stay posted. Make sure you're subscribed, notifications on, and like it, share, tell somebody else. Do all those things. One more Slava Ukraina. We're out of here. You guys be blessed tonight.
Слава Україні!